Hello Cruising World, Mick the Suit Guy with you. Today I'm going to give you a breakdown of what you get if you are diamond. This is primarily to show the platinums, and you may already know, that are trying to get to that diamond status by May the 31st, 2026, so you can keep your diamond status forever, what you're actually going to get. So once you see this, then ask yourself, is it really worth it? Or not, depending on how far away you are. If you're close, that's one thing. But if you're a ways away, do you really want to book 5 or 6 cruises just so you can get that diamond status? As you know, if you are diamond by May 31st, 2026, you are going to keep that status for life. If you are platinum at May 31st, 2026, you will keep the platinum for 2 years, and then you'll drop back to being nothing. You'll be a Carnival guest number, as will the diamonds, and everybody's going to not care about all the time and effort you've put into becoming platinum. We'll leave that one there. I'm not going to get into the politics of all this. I'm really just going to show you what you get for being diamond. I think we all know how I feel from those opening comments. I'll just say one thing. A lot of people, it's not the money for a lot of people, it's the time. So that's what frustrates me the most about this. People that have been cruising for years and years and years that may only be able to do 1 or 2 cruises a year due to work and time off are getting penalized. And we'll just leave it there. I'm not going to go any further into that. But let's go into this diamond thing before I waffle on. So let's take a look at what you get, and then at the end I'm going to show you what they're taking away. And when I do the taking away, I'm only going to cover the things that are applicable only to diamond. We all know how much they're taking away in general from pizza times and all that stuff. That's not just diamond. So we're going to keep this just diamond. So as you know, under the new rewards program, to be diamond, you're going to need 100,000 stars. That is per person. That is the equivalent of $33,333.33 and a little tiny bit to make it up to 100,000 every 2 years to keep that status. And we all know only really rich people or people that are casino cruisers will realistically be able to do that. So it is casino, it's Carnival Casino Line is what it is. But we're not going to get into that. Watch my other video on the whole subject. I'll put it in the links, and then we'll see what that's about. Anyways, so what are we keeping? So you are going to keep one exclusive onboard experience, which is a lunch with the captain. Now, let me tell you about lunch with the captain. For what it's worth, I am diamond. I have been for a long time. I turned diamond in 2018, so I feel fairly versed in this. I have done 81 Carnival cruises, and I've sailed 514 days. So I feel I'm fairly qualified to comment on this stuff. The lunch with the captain, depending on the ship, could be a brunch. If you're on a smaller ship with not many diamonds on board, it'll be a little brunch experience. If you're on a Mardi Gras with like 250 diamonds on board, it's going to be a lunch in the dining room. So, and they call it the captain's experience. The captain shows up for about 10 seconds. Sometimes he says something on the microphone and then he just disappears. Even the rest of the crew back in the day when I first started doing these, they would walk around and talk to you and introduce themselves. They did that on the Conquest in July, to be fair, but I think that's the only time that's happened in a long, long time. So basically what it is a free brunch, it's a free lunch, you get free drinks, but they open it. If it's beers, they open them, so you can't even keep them closed, take them away, unless you side tip the bartender. So yeah, I mean, it's nice, don't get me wrong, but is it great? And it's not what they advertise it to be, is what I'm saying. The captain is not going to be there, most likely. So what else do you get? There's some member perks. Earn and redeem, earn points, everybody gets that. Redeem points, everybody gets that. News and offers, everybody gets that. Everybody gets that. Recognition, a diamond member sale and sign card. Come on. There's a term we use in England. I've used it on several of my videos lately. It's called mutton dressed as lamb. Basically what that means is it's something is made to look better than it is. So what they've done, I believe, with this is they've just tried to fluff as much stuff as they can to make it look good, when in reality it's meaningless. So pretty much all of this side is meaningless. A collectible pin, great if you collect pins, I guess. I don't know, it's a pin. Support, dedicated diamond support number. I mean, diamond people in the comments, write down how many times you actually called that number. I could be wrong. I'm in a different situation being a travel agent, so I would never call that number anyway. But the few times I used to call it, I wouldn't get the best customer service. I got attitude from a lot of people that thought they were better because they were on the diamond desk, and I actually were quite rude to me sometimes. So I just stopped calling, and they weren't really any more help than they would have been if I called Carnival direct. So let's look at the onboard extras now, shall we? And I'm not trying to sound too negative, I'm just being honest. Onboard extras, 2 complimentary beverages. They claim this is in lieu of the cocktail party, the diamond and platinum party that they have got rid of. Well, we got 1 drink anyway, so basically it's 1 complimentary drink. And if you have cheers, what's the point in that, is all I'm saying. 1 complimentary 1.5 litre bottle of water. Very nice if you don't have cheers. If you have cheers, waste of time. Dining. Guaranteed main dining time, early or late dinner only. I'm not exactly sure how that works. I'm probably one of the vast majority of people now that gets your time dining, so it doesn't matter to me. But I don't know how that works. When you check in, if you check into you purchase your cruise late in the day, early is usually gone. Very, very few people do late dining these days. It's early or your time that really sell out. But if the early's sold out, it's sold out. To get early dining, I would have to probably go to the maitre d' on board and ask. I don't know. There's no guarantee to me. Again, if I'm wrong on any of these points, please correct me in the comments. I'm just going by what I do, and I do your time dining, so I can't really speak to that. Priority specialty dining reservations. All I can tell you is you buy them online just like everybody else. You go on board. Like I recently went on the Mardi Gras and I wanted to go in a certain restaurant on a certain day. They said, sorry, we're full. I want to go another day. Sorry, we're full. And I just went through the days until something was open. There was no priority given to me on that as I understood it. So I'm not sure exactly how that works. Mutton dressed as lamb, if you ask me. Remember that term, it's pretty good. If you don't know, mutton is like old, tired, lamb. And lamb is tender and juicy. Sorry, vegetarians, didn't mean to be like that. Complimentary wash and fold, 2 to 5 bags. It's based on the length of the cruise. They have not released what those days are. I would imagine it's going to be 2 bags on a 2 to 5 day cruise, maybe 3 bags on a 6 to 9 day cruise, 4 bags on a journeys cruise, and 5 bags on a cruise of 20 days and up, or something like that. I don't know. Now, I don't think that's terrible. The unlimited laundry, if you used it a lot, you're going to be really upset because it used to be unlimited. But we only really put stuff that can't be damaged in there or lost, that doesn't matter if it gets lost. So like underwear, for example, or workout gear, that's really the only stuff we would ever put in there. So for us, 2 to 5 bags is fine. That would have been a big loss. So that's the first of these that would have been a big loss, because we do a lot of longer cruises. So if we do like a 20-day cruise or a 10-day cruise, we do a lot of cruises that long, that would have been a big loss for us. So to me, this is the first of the ones that we're coming up to that would have been a loss for us. On a 7-day cruise and below, it wouldn't matter. So I think if you're a 7-day cruise and below person, is that a big deal? I don't really think so. We never use it on a 7-day and below. Well, we could, but we just don't. I don't know if you're the same. So I think if you do longer cruises, that's a big deal. If you do shorter cruises, it's not really a big deal. And when I say shorter, like I said, a 7 and below. I think if you're using it on a 7 below, it's more like a luxury thing. Again, if you don't agree with me, that is fine. You do you. All right, now let's look at their priority access line. We'll go through this. Pre-cruise priority. Early check-in 16 days before. This is the biggest joke that there is out there. This is the biggest of all the ones they have. This is the biggest mutton dressed as lamb, because if you are priority, when you get there, guess what? There's a priority line. You walk straight up to it. It doesn't matter if I check in 16 days before or 2 days before. I'm going to the same priority line. Now, I guess this may have a difference if you're on one of those journeys cruises where there's 400 diamonds and 500 platinums on it. Well, that won't happen much anymore, will it? But I don't know if that's a big deal. I've done that, and we still got on at the early priority time. So the rare times that might matter is if you're, but then again, Then again, think about that. If you're on a Journeys cruise where there's like 500 platinums, everybody else gets 16 days check-in anyway. So, but I guess the thing on that is, if it's a long cruise, check in as early as possible. Anything else, that really doesn't matter one iota, because you're just going to walk up and go straight to your priority line at 10 o'clock. Embarkation priority, check-in. All right, again, you go up to that line. That's, security line where available. I've never seen that. I have just gone checked in, and then I've gone to the first line that I see. Nobody's ever directed me to a priority check-in line ever. Again, if I'm wrong, correct me. Captain's lounge where available. Yeah, that's there. But again, does it matter? They used to put like drinks and snacks in there. I haven't seen that in a long time. It's just a seat in a different area. Does it really matter? I don't know. If you want to boost, look at me, I'm in the captain's lounge. Otherwise, sit anywhere, it's fine. Boarding. Now, here's what I'll say about boarding. Yes, you are going to get on earlier than everybody else, but by how much? If you are gold, right, for example, or red, or right now we're your first cruise, all that really matters is that at 14 days, when you can check in, you check in as early as possible. If you do that, you'll be the first of that lot to get in, and you will probably get on board about 5 to 10 minutes after I do, because they're going to go diamond, suites, platinum, faster to the fun, and then they're going to start with the other groups. And it doesn't take that long to get all those groups through and on. So 10, maybe 15 minutes after I get on board, if you've done the proper routes and checked in as early as you possibly can, then you'll be on about 15 minutes after me. Luggage delivery. Here's an interesting one. I can tell you this, I started tracking this. Now on my last cruise, yes, my luggage was delivered quickly. 8 of my last 10 cruises, my luggage has certainly not had priority. 2, yes, it got there quickly. The other 8, it got there after everybody else was getting luggage. I don't really care as long as it gets there, but I think that's a fallacy that they have priority. They'll argue that to the nth degree, but I don't buy that there are priority luggage delivery. I just don't agree with it, because I can tell you, 8 of my last 10 cruises, I started counting and checking. Our bags have come almost last in my floor. There you go. Onboard priority. Retail concierge services. That means the short line to the guest services. Now, this is another big one for me. This is one I would really have been sad if I'd lost. You've seen the lines at guest services sometimes, and they can be long. So that is a big one. So far, of all these things you've shown, luggage on a long cruise only, and this one, the access to the guest services, that's a big one for me. Access to a dedicated casino host upon request. I don't gamble. I can't speak to that. I don't know how that works. Early bag drop-off in stateroom, carry-on bags. Yeah, this is kind of a big one if you don't want to carry your bags around. So I'll give that a half importance. But that is nice to not have to carry your bags around till 1:30, especially as you're usually getting on very early. So you get on the ship like 11 o'clock. That's 2.5 hours you don't have to carry a bag around. So that is quite a big one. Guest services, phone assistance. We've had to do that a few times. A few times, and half those times nobody answers. So I don't know. Guest services line. Hang on, I thought that was the one above. What is a retail concierge services? I thought that was guest services line. But I've already covered that. But somebody put in the comments, what the hell is a retail concierge services? Is that shopping? I guess. In that case, I don't shop on board, so I don't know what that is. And how would you use it if it was there? Somebody put that in the comments. Casino cashier line, again, I don't use it. Spa reservations, I never go to the spa. I'm not paying the absolutely ridiculous prices they charge for the spa. So somebody put in the comments about that. So I guess if you're a gambler, but then if you're a gambler, you're going to get this anyway. Or if you use a spa a lot, that could be a good thing. I don't know. All right. To me, so far, guest services line. I guess the retail concierge was shops. What do I know? And that's a big one. Debarkation priority. Water shuttle boarding, ship to shore only. Now, I will tell you this. I've been on a few cruises lately where they don't do that. They'll lie, they'll argue that, but they haven't done that. So it's nice sometimes, but what they do is that water shuttle boarding, ship to shore only, they give you a 1 hour window early in the morning, like early. Like if you get ashore at 8:30, you're going to get a window of 8:45 to 9:45. So that's only good if you want to get off the ship early. You can't just walk up any time and get that water shuttle if it's not within that 1 hour time span. Having said that, if you go after that time, it's probably not that busy anyway, but sometimes it stays busy all morning. Depends on what port you are going to. But that's, it's an okay thing. It's not a massive thing in my mind, unless you want to get off the ship early every time. Debark designated meeting area. This is for me a big one, because I love to get off the ship, especially if I'm driving home. I want to get off the ship early. I think we all know it's an absolute zoo getting off that ship, because nobody listens to what time they're supposed to go off. People just jump in line and feel like they're more important than everybody else. So that is a big one. So of all those things there, just to me, the only things that matter are the getting off the ship, the guest services line, and the luggage on a long cruise. I don't really care about getting on the ship like most people do, because I know if I play the game right, I'll be on 10-15 minutes after a Diamonds will. How is that? I will be on 10 minutes after I will be on. Yeah, okay. So I don't really care about that. And the debarkation on the shuttle depends on the port, but I don't really care about that too much either. So it's just 3 things to me that are really important. Let's take a look at the things that we've lost. The Diamond Party is now 2 complimentary drinks. It was already 1, so basically it's now 1 drink. Your $5 arcade credits, the chocolate treat, some people love it. I used to get that and give it to a crew member. So I'm going to miss out on being able to do that. Your gift. Gifts have got progressively worse over the years. Recently, they had one of those packing cubes. And we had one from like 4 or 5 years ago, and we got the new one. And trust me, the difference in quality is night and day. So these chips, these gifts are like $1 gifts now. They used to be $5 gifts. That's just a term. That's not an actual amount, but they're definitely not as good as they used to be. You'll miss out on your one-time specialty dining for 2. You'll miss out on your luggage tags. You'll miss out on a one-time cabin upgrade or 3rd and 4th guest cruise for 3. And we already lost. This is a temperamental one because nobody agrees. Carnival won't agree with me, but I know the facts. We lost that $25 casino credit. And you've heard me say this before, but it's true. They claimed it was a temporary thing bought in. No, it wasn't. It was a permanent thing bought in to replace a permanent entry to the slot. Or it was a temporary thing bought in to replace the slot and the blackjack tournament, which was permanent. And then when that came back, they were going to go back to that. So they just took it all away because it was costing them too much money, because a lot of the ships didn't know how to handle it and they were giving out cash and nobody was using it in the casino. We all know that's the fact on that one, but they will never ever admit it. So they're the things we lost. Are those things huge? No, they're not. They're not really huge. So the overall thing is Diamond worth it to you? Is it worth packing in 5 or 6 cruises to get those benefits? Is it just I feel good about myself thing, which is fine, absolutely fine. You've worked really hard to get where you are and you want that diamond card. But if it's not, I just want to make sure you understand what you are getting if you are rushing to get those cruises in. Now, if you've got that offer now that they're giving out double points, triple points, whatever, that's, maybe a different argument. But yeah. And if you're casino, you don't care anyway, because you're going to be the ones that benefit when this comes in. If you do a very quick comparison to Royal, and I was looking at the Royal earlier, just a couple of things I would point out about Royal that is way better than Carnival will probably ever do. And theirs starts at 175 days. Then there's another one that's like, I think, 700 days. So let's just do the 175 days, for example. Just throw a couple of things out there at you. They give you, I think it's 5 free drinks a day. So either 4 or 5 free drinks every day, right? So then would you need cheers? They give you 30% off of your drink package, right? they also, if you have a reservation in a specialty dining room, buy one, get one. So your guest comes for free. So there's a lot of little things that Royal does that are actually way, way better than Carnival's ever done, and certainly better than they're going to be doing. So take a look. If you have any other cruise lines, do a comparison between this and them and see what they do. So again, I'm not trying to be too negative here. I'm just making sure you understand what you are going to get once you become Diamond. Because I think a lot of people think it's the Earth. It is not. It is like you think you'll get in England, but you get Australia. It's very disappointing. You still watching, Mal? I'll find out. All right, so I hope that was somewhat helpful. And again, it feels like I'm doing a lot of negative Carnival videos lately. I'm not. This is just a realistic one where I'm trying to make you understand what you are getting. Some of those things, like I said, I didn't know. I didn't know. I don't know because I don't use them. I don't use the spa. I don't use the casino. So if anybody does, please tell me if those benefits are worth it or not. I have a feeling they are not. But I don't know. You do you. But you know what you're getting into, as they say. Not get, that's not a good term. But you know what's coming. So you understand why you're doing what you're doing. And with that, I will ask you to subscribe. I will ask you to hit that little bell. And then you'll get notifications when these wonderful videos come out, which are 98% positive. I used to say 99, but there's been a couple lately that aren't as positive. But for a reason. They made me do it. I'm going to get a t-shirt that says mutton dressed as lamb because I've been using that term way too much lately. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. If I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody that does, and I will do my best to find that answer for you. And Mick, join. If you want to join and become a member, you will get early access to videos such as this. So basically, when I'm done with this video, I'm going to schedule it to go out next Saturday, and this is Sunday, right? So it doesn't matter what the date is, it's just an example. I'm going to upload this today and I'm going to let my members see it, and then on Friday I'm going to schedule it to go to everybody else on Saturday. So you get benefits like that if you become a member. Ooh, the things you would have missed out if you didn't see this 6 days early. But I like you too, and it helps me a great deal. All right, with that, waffling. I always hear Julie's voice in my head saying, stop waffling. I've been doing these videos and I can hear her shouting it from the other room. Or she'll text me, you're waffling, because she's listening. Not right now because she's in San Diego, but she is listening. With that, I will see you later, Cruising World. Well, thanks for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you haven't yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell. You'll get notifications when future videos come out. And also you'll see to the left and right of me, there are some more of my videos you can watch. Also, you can join my lovely little channel here. Hit that join button next to the subscribe button on my main page. We have 3 different levels you can join at. And if you join at the highest level, I will name a suit after you. And every time I wear that suit, I'll have your name in the pocket. I will sing your name to the rafters, maybe even at karaoke.